got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang, watching top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Popcorn, turn down.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Film Threat. That's right. Alan and I have returned from Vegas, and I survived. We have so much for you today. Expect a longer show, and apologies for being late, but reports from CinemaCon, everything we saw, we'll go over it. We'll talk about the winners and the losers. The losers are very unexpected. Also, lots of movies to review today. That's right. We're talking Minecraft, of course. Minecraft, plus a movie called Freaky Tales with Pedro Pascal, The Luckiest Man in America with Paul Walter Hauser, Screamboat is in theaters, Wake Up, lots of movies, plus your chat comments and questions. So that's the show. We're going to talk CinemaCon and then movie. Wait, the song is repeating. I got to get Alan on. What's going on? Where is Alan? Where is he? Come on, let's go. Let's get Alan on here. Let's go.
Alan, I've been looking for you myself. Alan.
Hey.
Here he is. You survived CinemaCon too.
I somehow survived.
Yeah.
It's actually a fun trip. I think this is the first time we walked away from a trip like this feeling pretty good about what happened.
I feel like the only thing that could have made this trip better is if we were walking away from a building and it exploded. we walked away with the explosion in the background, but like we've never like roomed before.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, Alan was a great roommate. He's a very deep sleeper. Just like every night we would put on John Campia's coverage of CinemaCon, and Alan was out like a light. You're a very, and I know that I snore, but you like never woke up once. I probably get up 3-4 times to pee, but that's okay. So, maybe we'll do this again. Although it was funny last night when we went to Alan's place, I parked my car there, and I go in to give Alan shake his hand, and he went in for a hug. Yeah. It was that awkward, like, I'm going to do a manly handshake. And then
we had just spent 3 days together, 2 nights in the same room.
It was fun.
Hands between pillows.
Yes. No, it was really, we had a good time. We had some good bonding time between us, but I did the guy hug, the shoulder to shoulder. I kind of did that. So, but no, it was really good. We will change things up next year. We really didn't know what we were doing. I'm going to be honest, but next year we'll just cancel our normal live streams and we'll do daily coverage from CinemaCon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, probably even like morning show and afternoon, because there's so much to cover. Even if we're going to spend probably an hour on CinemaCon first, we're not going to cover half of what we saw. We'll give you the highlights. Right, Alan?
Yes.
Okay. We have something of a structure here. I want to say hi to all of our new members. And by the way, members only videos. You can see Alan and I having a hot dog eating contest at CinemaCon where Alan eats a hot dog with gummies and peppers. True story. I have video proof. Along with other videos I haven't uploaded yet. So we'll get to those. Let's say hi to Jason Hardy. Thank you. GI Bro. Krizik, thank you. Go party time. Hey, love the avatar. And A Viewpoint, please sign up as a member. And Sean Hu gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. So look for our exclusive members only videos. And also we do tend to give away, giveaways. You can get on our Discord on all of that. And thank you, Knee Pain, for 2. Are you the latest streamer ever? Yes, we are the latest.
I was here. I don't know
And
what you were doing all morning.
I was doing the Geeks and Gamers daily. Knee pain. Chris and Alan sharing a room has Brokeback Mountain vibes.
We couldn't quit each other.
Everything but the gay sex, pretty much. I would admit to that. MK Solid, always. I love interacting with MK Solid on X. Did you guys talk about G.I. Joe and make a bed tent? We did not. And those Snyder fans are pretty vicious about the new Superman G's. They're like ISIS. I have not seen that. What is the sort of
I can only imagine. I haven't seen any news, but I can only imagine what Snyder fans think of James Gunn Superman.
It's the goofy Superman from the comics, like robots and it's the goofy,
colorful Superman.
Yeah, the cheerful Superman, the hopeful. And Lord Thoth, we appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, especially join Alan on X. He is almost at 10,000. At my pal Al. Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch. Go to shop.filmthreat.com for a limited time. We have the superhero collection. You can get like this, the shirt I'm wearing now, the Fantastic Four inspired shirt, and we brought back Make Marvel Mail Again. There's a lot of bootlegs out there, a lot of people selling this. I'm the one that tweeted this and was viciously attacked online.
You lost friends.
I lost friends over this tweet. People tried to cancel me. There were articles written about these 4 words. Make Marvel Mail Again. So what am I doing? Making a shirt and monetizing it. You pick the size, you pick the color. Black, true royal, purple, steel blue. There's like 9 shades of blue, basically. But pick up that shirt for a limited time. Make Marvel Again.
We even made the Mary Sue. Let's just put it that way.
The Mary Sue wrote a horrible article about me. They clearly didn't know anything about me. So that was kind of lame. So F them. Yeah. So we're one more soup in here. JWT6577 for 5. People complaining about Snyder Bros are as annoying as the Snyder Bros themselves. I just tend to ignore negativity. Thank you for the soup. I just ignore it. I like what I like. I post and ghost. I pop in every once in a while. What I don't like is when I'll like look at our comments on YouTube and people try to tell me what I think or what my opinion is. I'm like, I never said that. That's not true. Like, I don't like that. So, and I don't do that to other people. I prefer they explain your opinion to me. So there you go.
And Man of Steel sucked. All right.
But I'll argue.
You and I disagree.
Okay. I think Man of Steel has aged well. At the time, it was a shock. I think when you look back, go watch that movie. Everything from Jor-El, Russell Crowe as Jor-El, to Krypton, to the battles. Like, it's vicious. It's serious. The score, I couldn't believe you could potentially top the original John Williams score, and Hans Zimmer, at least equal to me. I love that score. So there you go. Alan, let's kick it off.
Yes, go ahead.
What do we want to start with for CinemaCon? Do we want to do an overview or Paramount or Disney? Where would you like to start?
Well, I mean, we should go in order. We should start with Paramount, unless you want to talk overall, your overall impressions of CinemaCon.
Let's do that last, but let's do one thing. We need to point out one thing about CinemaCon. We saw the Disney panel, and you know what we did not see? Anything Star Wars. We didn't notice it at the time, but there was not anything Star Wars related. Alan, care to comment?
Yeah, I mean, when we walked into the Disney presentation, they have it's at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, and so they have these video windows everywhere, and you see every logo. You even saw Star Wars in those logo windows, and no Star Wars announcement. Kathleen Kennedy didn't walk out. Jon Favreau wasn't there. Dave Filoni didn't waddle his way to the center of the stage. Yeah, nothing. I mean,
Star Wars was
this was not
MIA.
good. This was not good.
Not a logo, not a release date, not a teaser, and they have shown footage of Mandalorian and Grogu before. There was nothing, not a mention, not a 2026, and they talked about titles coming in 2026.
Every studio was like, and we got stuff coming out in 2026, and nothing. I mean, and this is just to be clear, we're here for film. This is for theater owners, so they're not going to show us Andor, which I think is the last thing coming out of Star Wars.
A new Star Wars movie would have been like, or there are Star Wars movies being made now. Where was an announcement, a logo, a poster reveal, a hello from Kathleen Kennedy? Zero. What does this tell me? Star Wars being MIA from CinemaCon is a swing and a miss. It tells you kind of what they think of the brand, which is hobbled. They could have even mentioned that Revenge of the Sith is coming to theaters in, I think, a month. By the way, we saw popcorn buckets for Revenge of the Sith that looked pretty cool with Darth Vader. So,
well, no, it was Fathom Events that
is it? Okay, I'm wrong. I stand corrected.
But it was during our lunch, just before the Disney panel from Fathom Events, because they've got a lot of stuff coming out too. Again, this CinemaCon is for theater owners. It's for the studios to come out and say, we are your partners, and here's everything that's going to come to your theaters. Get excited about it. Create momentum for it. And Star Wars, nothing.
It was sad. And what can we read into that? You take a guess.
Star Wars is dead.
Although, by the way, I need to also announce this. Alan and I got all the episodes of Andor. We have never. It's coming out in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We have like 3 weeks to watch all 12 episodes.
I think it's 9.
9. We have gotten all the episodes now with a lot of time between now and then to watch it. And we will, when we're able to talk about it, we will do that. So we'll discuss it. And I'm just surprised. They even asked us, do you want all the episodes? And I think we both said yes. And I have them. I'll probably watch, maybe not this weekend, but next. And when we can talk about it, it's the soonest opportunity. We will discuss it. But you know what? I get the feeling no one cares.
Yeah.
I get the feeling no one cares.
Yeah. It's like, it's a big investment of time.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the return is going to be there. The return on investment.
Yep. All right. Do we have any comments on this? We have a couple comments. Let's go there.
All right. Dark Jedi, $7.99 Australian dollars. Hello there. Hello, Dark Jedi.
Hello, Dark Jedi.
Gatekeeper, member for 9 months. Love you guys.
Hey, love you back, Gatekeeper. Appreciate you.
ADLs, besides How to Train Your Dragon, were there any other films screened in their entirety? No. So if you saw, okay, let's get rid of this. If you saw our show on Wednesday late night, our Film Threat After Dark, we went over Warner and DC. We talked about what they showed. We talked about what we had seen thus far. So we have other CinemaCon stuff to discuss. Let's start with Paramount. Paramount had some things to show. Alan, why don't you start? Yeah. So Paramount was probably the best presentation. And as I'm looking down the list of movies we saw, it was because of 4 movies.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of crap out there. But the first thing that came up was The Running Man. Edgar Wright was there. Glenn Powell. Coleman Domingo is the Richard Dawson role. And Josh Brolin plays the evil evil producer, I believe. And man, am I impressed about this movie. Man, am I excited about this movie. It's not quite the story of the original. It's about a father who needs to save his daughter's life. The medical bills are expensive. And the only way to do that is to enter the Running Man television show, which nobody has won. And that's pretty much this story. And the trailer is, I don't think they've released it yet. The trailer looks really good. And this is a movie I'm looking forward to next year or this year.
Yeah, they even hosted a luncheon where they had Edgar Wright, Coleman Domingo, Glenn Powell, and Josh Brolin there, just to tell people. They talked about movies. They talked about how much they loved movies, and this is them at CinemaCon. I got to point out, until we get to Disney, they were strict about no photos in the room. If you had your phone even just like looking at it, they had security like looking at the audience. They had them with goggles. It was crazy. So they had, and we sat in an area where it was all people on their laptops typing what was happening, which was because the press section. So we could take no photos. The only studio that allowed photos of what was happening, except the videos shown, of course, was Disney. And we'll get to that because I have video to show of that.
But the funny one was the ushers had to come to us and say, you can take photos and video of these parts.
They did that during Disney, but the Running Man, I mean, the original is not like the book. Edgar Wright promises the new one will be like the book, more like the book. What we saw, I liked, but it looks too action-packed. There are deeper themes to that novel by Richard Bachman. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of Richard Bachman.
Yes, I am.
It's Stephen King.
Yeah.
But there are deeper layers to it. We didn't get that sense, but the action in this thing is insane. Yeah. What'd you think, Alan?
Too action-packed. I mean,
yeah, it was sort of like, okay, we get it. There's action.
No, but that's why I'm going to see this movie. The action.
Yeah, well, look, I've always been an Edgar Wright fan from the Cornetto trilogy to Baby Driver to Scott Pilgrim. His only sort of swing and a miss was that One Night in Soho.
Yeah,
is that the name of it? It was kind of weak, but whatever. He's delivered so much good stuff, and I would have loved to have seen his version of Ant-Man with Marvel.
Yeah,
maybe a mistake, but what can you say? But what we saw of Running Man was fantastic. So I'm sold on that. Sold on that. Anything else? And let's move on.
Okay.
Alan,
So then they went into Paramount Animation. So guess what, guys? There's another Paw Patrol movie coming out.
By the way, when Paw Patrol the logo came up, I said, "I'm going to the bathroom." I
I know.
The bathroom. I was all concerned about getting my 10,000 steps in a day. I had to.
Yeah, that would have been a good time.
Frequent bathroom trips.
Last Airbender, The Legend of Aang. That's coming out.
You can't pronounce that. You can't pronounce that.
I can't pronounce it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, there's another Aang. Okay, sorry, I've been corrected. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the great Seth Rogen. That's coming out. So here's the big one though. Smurfs. There's a new Smurfs movie.
I saw the teaser. I was in the room.
Okay, it was produced and stars Rihanna, and Rihanna. The sense I get is she is a girl and she is a boss. Smurfette is, and this is the feeling I get from this movie is that, in fact, there was a video message from Rihanna and it was talking about how Smurfette is going to lead the Smurfs to do Smurfity Smurf. And then, but if that doesn't excite you enough, there's a Smurf called No Name Smurf, and it is voiced by James Corden.
Yeah, I can't wait. No, I literally checked out and didn't. I think it was on my phone. Might have been on my phone. I didn't. God. All the animation stuff, for the most part, I was checked out.
Yeah. Yeah. SpongeBob. There's a SpongeBob movie coming out.
Well, the SpongeBob movie looked fun.
Yeah.
In spite of the fact that we should talk about SpongeBob for a second. You know, Mark Hamill came out and he got some special award.
Yeah. Like an icon award or something like that.
An icon award. And he came out and I'm just thinking, like, all I said, I leaned over to Alan. I said, go force yourself. Because
there was a point where he's going to play the villain in the movie. And the thing he says is, I think after kids see this movie, they're going to hate me. And I go, them and a million other people.
Yeah, I wasn't super look, I loved SpongeBob because my kids love SpongeBob. It was the least insufferable of the kid shows that they watched, and I got caught up in watching it. But Mark Hamill plays some pirate or whatever. Him coming out was, I thought, like, wow, let's see if he keeps his pants on. Or if he tells the theater owners, who are mostly, especially in the middle of the country, tend to be more conservative, leaning, what he says to them. You know, he's not, I don't know, he's not done himself any favors by being so hateful to half the country. He did not get a raucous applause. It was very tepid, if you ask me. And I think if you look back, I think a lot of the reason that people wanted to cast Mark Hamill in voice roles is because they wanted to meet Luke Skywalker. Let's be honest. Now, he evolved into, I think, a very talented voice actor. To be fair, his Joker is phenomenal, both in the show and the game. So the animated show. So I give him credit, but him sort of picking a side and then going after, like, there's no reason for that. So that was it felt awkward because he's not as beloved as he used to be, especially because the Star Wars sequels have been you look back on those as like the biggest missed opportunity in movie history. Seriously. So
yeah, he's going to be in the King of Kings animated movie about Jesus. So yeah, everyone wants to meet Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. So that was fine. That was the one time I paid attention. So yeah.
Okay, so the next movie that came out, hold on your hats, Naked Gun. And you and I had been talking all the way up until this presentation of we can't wait to see the Naked Gun trailer. And it was, I hope they get it right. And there's a 1-minute trailer that came out that everyone probably has seen. We saw basically a 5-minute trailer of the Naked Gun.
Right.
And, if what we saw in the trailer is what we see in the movie, it's going to deliver. It's going to be huge.
Well, the thing is, let me see if there's a link to the trailer. We can show it. We're probably going to have to clip it out of the live show.
Yeah.
So we'll have to clip it, Lori, if you would. But what the teaser you saw, which we'll react to right now and show you, is only part of. We saw about 4 minutes.
Yeah,
for a show,
roughly
4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, like Pam Anderson is taking over the femme fatale role.
Yeah. So let me bring up the trailer here. I'll share it with you right now. We'll react to what we can see, and then we'll tell you what you're missing. So here we go.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop. What do you want, little one? Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version. Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you. Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
Sound of the police. The sound
We saw a lot more in
Oh my god. So yeah, what else did we see? They introduced
so Pam Anderson is go ahead.
Let me real quick. Pam Anderson is the romantic lead interest, and they do these series of like heat sensing, like you view like X-ray, and you see Pam Anderson on her knees blowing Frank Drebin, and then you see a scene with a dog I will not describe. It's also a sex scene. It is, but they wouldn't reveal what it really is. It is so over the top. It's just, I don't want to ruin all the jokes. This is the anti-woke comedy we need. Seth MacFarlane, I have total faith in him. It's raunchy. I hope it's R-rated. It's like borderline. If it's PG-13, I'll be surprised.
This needs to be R-rated, and it's not going to affect the box office. Believe me.
Yeah. What did you think, Alan?
No, I thought it was great. Also directed by Akiva Schaffer, who did Pop Star. Nobody saw Pop Star but me. But in Pop Star, they push the limits in terms of being offensive. And so this is a great combination. Again, if what we saw in the trailer is what is on screen, this is going to be the return of the Naked Gun series.
It just looks amazing. Like I was right next to you when we watched it. I haven't laughed that hard at a trailer I can't remember. They don't make movies like this. It is not woke by any stretch. It is just leaning into the style of humor, and Liam Neeson, and they showed a lot of footage where he's kind of mocking his Taken persona. He's done like 9 movies that are a ripoff of Taken, right? And they play up that, and then there's so much that's just over the top. That's old style of humor, and it's not giving no F's. It was awesome.
Yeah, the thing is that if the movie will fail if the filmmakers hold back. If
they do not.
There's a sense that they're playing it safe, this movie will fail. And so far, so good.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So let's get back to Paramount, because it was just overall one of the best. That and Universal to me were the 2 best. But Tom Cruise, man, and Mission Impossible, he came out, and here I've got a story here from it. Where is it? About Tom Cruise came out and gave a tribute to
Christopher McQuarrie.
Well, no, there were 2.
A tribute? Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me show. I have an image here. But it was fantastic. He came out, they introduced him, of course. He's a showman. He is grateful for his success. He is I'm scrolling through the highlights of the story here, but he was just so heartfelt. It's not an act. I mean, he came out and he gave an award. He gave an award to
Christopher
McQuarrie, and he had this whole thing on cards and told all these stories, right? It was amazing.
Yeah, let's set it up. He comes out with a stack of cards.
Right.
And he starts reading the cards, and you realize this guy is the greatest actor in the world because he's making reading off cards sound interesting and engaging.
Oh, and one quick thing I forgot. He did do a tribute to Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Said, let's have a moment of silence for who he is and what he represents. And it did this whole heartfelt thing to Val Kilmer, and the place was silent for a minute.
Yeah.
So that kicked up. Then this Chris McQuarrie tribute was heartfelt about movies, how much they love movies, and how Chris McQuarrie saved parts of Mission Impossible. Like the one scene where he's
the Brad Bird one.
When he's outside the building, blue is glue, red is dead. Like he solidified simple ideas that made the movie understandable. They had action sequences, but the script was kind of, not quite there. And he just was there on set every day writing scenes, and then they'd shoot him. Like,
and he got no credit for it.
yeah,
He's not the credited writer of that movie.
So
I
he
think it's
got an
Rogue Nation.
award. Very humble, Chris McQuarrie. He thanked his family, Tom, and like it. Paramount was a love fest for movies. That's what it was. It was like, we love movies. And every studio did a thing where they showed the rich history. They showed like their early logos up to the current logos and a whole montage of movies. Like, remember these really good movies we made? We're going to get back to that. Then they showed a teaser for the new Mission Impossible. Dude, this is the last movie with Tom Cruise. May not be for the franchise. The montage they showed totally built up like everything like this. Every Mission Impossible movie has built to this moment, this final mission. I'm so pumped. We can't show it, obviously, but it just wow, it was fantastic. So
let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The last thing I want to bring up is Channing Tatum comes out and is promoting his movie called Roof Man.
Real quick. This tribute was amazing, grateful and honored. Tribute to Val Kilmer. I can't tell you how much I admired his work, how much I thought of him as a human being, and how grateful and honored I am. Honored I was when he joined Top Gun. So it was thank you, Val. Wish you well on your next journey. He is a class act.
Yeah.
He is a class act. So
he's practically the last movie star. Let's be
now
real.
Channing Tatum came out, and this Roof Man movie looks wild. It's Miramax and Paramount Pictures. I am pumped. This is a weird indie movie about a guy who is a small-time thief who ripped off a bunch of McDonald's and then hid in the roof of a Toys R Us. He literally hid in the rafters and like ate and showered and lived his life
and fell in love
from the cops and fell in love. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts, Alan.
Yeah. I mean, this was weird because up on the screen, it says Roof Man. And then out comes Channing Tatum. And I'm thinking, is this a joke? Are we about to get punked here? And then he just goes on and it gives this heartfelt speech about how much he enjoyed making Roof Man. And then we see a very extended trailer for Roof Man. And the story is insane. The story is true. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's kind of Catch Me If You Can, but if it took place in a small town.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, we have nothing to show you about it, but that one was very surprising. Yeah. So, and Paramount also, one thing the studios do, you're in Vegas, it's an event. They open the presentation with everything is like the senior VP of theatrical. I don't remember any of the names. I really don't care. It's all people on the biz and executive side, but they really feel like they need to put on a show. He comes out like, we're not going to do anything exciting this year. And then he said, no, F that. We're doing something. He puts on a motorcycle helmet, gets on a motorcycle. They bring out ramps. All these motorcycles come out. They're doing like jumps over these ramps. The motorcycle is going around the theater in the perimeter of the floor seating. It was an insane stunt show right before your eyes. That's how they opened Paramount. And other studios did similar kind of like presentations, like with Megan and Blumhouse. They brought out like 20 Megans to dance, synchronized dance. So yeah, it was crazy. But all right, what am I forgetting, Alan?
No, that was pretty much it. Unless you want to talk about Smurf and the Smurfettes.
No, I don't care.
Okay,
I am fine.
And
with that.
go to comments.
Let's go to Soups here, and then we'll move on. We have a lot more.
All right, Jen McMahon 999. Star Wars needs a new villain. I don't know why they don't do Abeloth.
Well, they just need someone who cares about Star Wars and understands it.
But you do need a villain, and apart from Darth Vader, Will Spain for 199. Hey guys, can you watch the Primitive War teaser? Only if there are boobs in it.
I don't think we'll have time today, Wolfsbane. Maybe Wednesday. Remember that, Lori. We will do a reaction, but we just have too much today. My apologies, Wolfsbane. We'll do that, and we will clip it for you.
All right, Alejandra Montoya Marin for $1.99. Naked Gun looks terrible.
Wrong. We saw a lot more than the teaser. I can't even tell you some of the gags.
The spirit of the original is there in terms of puns, sight gags, and just inappropriateness abounding.
Thanks,
ADL 24. Akiva from the Lonely Island is a solid director. Popstar was great. Yes, Popstar was great, and no one saw it except me and ADL. And I think 8 other people in the chat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Our Martian Mission Impossible is likely to lose a lot of money based on its budget and the franchise box office history. I think the last one was. It surprised me that it didn't perform at the box office.
Yeah.
But I think the other ones are pretty solid, especially post theatrical. Jinx, did they show a trailer for the new Kendrick Lamar and South Park creators movie?
They did not. They showed a logo. There's no title yet. I expect this is going to be a major like if you've been watching the show, put a chick in it, make it lame and gay. It's going that direction.
Yeah.
It was heavily implied. No, keep those, Lori. Let me do the unstarring. It was heavily implied this is going for it.
Mm-hmm.
That it will be over the top in their style.
Yeah. And it'll be woke. Let's see. Our Martian. I would love for Smurfs to survive that packed July and come out as the biggest winner. LOL. It won't.
No.
Lee Kindler. We will get the book ending in the. Will we get the book ending in the Running Man remake?
To be determined. Where was that one comment? Thank you. The one comment from
I think it was the airplane crash.
Geek Truth 64. He said basically Running Man is how you do a remake. I think that's what it was. It went away. Cool. All right. Let's get to the saddest part of CinemaCon.
the most disappointing part of CinemaCon.
And by the way, we're not the only ones saying it. As we walked out of the theater, everyone was saying that was kind of underwhelming. They didn't do they did no like big spectacle. They came out and showed trailers. No Star Wars mentioned. We'll talk about Marvel stuff first. And we'll talk about other things. Star Wars absent. That says something. But we did get, I'm going to put myself full screen for a moment. We did get a look at the Thunderbolts. And they gave us these boxes which had popcorn in it. Thunderbolt cereal box. So there you go. There's a puzzle on the back, Alan.
Yeah.
You finish it. Breakfast of Heroes. Okay. Let's talk about Thunderbolts. We saw the teaser. We saw a scene from the movie. I'll quickly set it up. The Thunderbolts in a van crash through the sort of lobby of a building. A bunch of guys in black with guns are coming out, going after them. And suddenly the fight stops when Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character says, guys, the doors were unlocked. Come on up. And they're basically there to arrest her. And there's a scene. Her character, Elaine from Seinfeld, or what's her name from Veep, Selena Gomez from Veep, is weightless. I think she is miscast. Olivia Colman would have been better. But she's completely miscast, no gravitas whatsoever. And the scene kind of was a nothing burger. Like, I don't know. No one reacted. It was like it was like a golf clap at the end. And they did this thing where they had the Thunderbolts come on stage. I've got the video I shot of it. I'll show it to you. The Thunderbolts come on stage and there's a thing like, oh, I'm doing so bad in Vegas. So they walked through the crowd and came up on stage. I'll share it here.
Get to the stage and promote our movie.
Gotta stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Thunderbolts, Lawrence Pugh, David Harbour, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Anna Duncan, and Wyatt Russell.
Lawrence Pugh looks good.
Yeah.
He looks good. I'm not going to lie.
That script could be shorter, though.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Sorry we're a little late getting up here.
Yeah, sorry. We lost Wyatt to the casino.
Yeah.
Our seats were in the balcony, by the way.
Find the Coliseum next to you. Know you're down 37 grand or whatever.
Yeah, but we are super psyched to be here at CinemaCon. We really hope you love the film and it does really well so that Wyatt Russell can make back the money he lost today.
Yeah.
We really do.
Anyway, we are super excited to show you an exclusive look at our new team of glorious misfits and in the Marvel Universe coming to your cinemas next month. We had such a special time making this movie, such a special time. Sorry, I'm like slurring. It's like I've been drinking. I haven't. With many unique experiences, like David.
You call me Daybar? What?
Daybar, like David Harbour driving us across Utah.
They're making mistakes.
It's good. It's good.
Like David Harbour driving us across Utah in a red limo, wearing super suits in the hot desert, and that I got to jump off the second tallest building in the world, which was pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up now and let you watch it, and we hope you enjoy.
Well, there you go. There you have it. That was the Thunderbolts. The scene they showed was what I described and actually kind of weak.
Yeah, underwhelming.
It was kind of weak. I was underwhelmed. Yeah,
like the entire presentation from Disney, I was just underwhelmed. Yeah.
Well, let's keep going.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. They had no one come out. They did two things. Kevin Feige was on screen. Sorry I couldn't be there. CinemaCon. I'm on the set of Avengers Doomsday. We're just starting shooting, but here's a look at the Fantastic Four. Alan, describe the footage, and I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, it basically opens up with that. If you remember the scene in the trailer where the Fantastic Four are kind of in a spotlight, well, the opening moment is the TV show that they're going to get interviewed on, and this is very much a teaser trailer, a very, what is it? A distant look at who the Fantastic Four are.
It's an extended trailer for CinemaCon only.
But again, underwhelming. But two things stood out in the trailer. One is Pedro Pascal is miscast, and two, female Silver Surfer stands out as well, and it's not good.
It doesn't work. It looks bad. Doug Jones in the makeup in The Rise of the Silver Surfer looked better than what we saw, which was a very digital female Silver Surfer. It did not look good. Part of the story of what it's not gonna surprise people, but they went up into space, they got these powers, and now they're going back to space again, but this time they have superpowers to confront whatever this threat from another world is. You see
giant that casts a big shadow over New York.
Yes, we see the back of Galactus's head, kinda. We don't see Galactus. They didn't show that, so it's a little bit more of what you've already seen. And you're right; those two things stood out. They're the weakest parts of the movie. Pedro as Reed. We did learn part of the story. And this seems to happen in the beginning of the film. Sue is pregnant. Yes, Franklin is coming along with Galactus. So we see Franklin Richards is going to be born. She's pregnant. Johnny's excited. I'm going to be an uncle. You'll be a great mom. They're very much a tight-knit family, right? So
Yeah. So yeah, Vanessa Kirby, the other two look great.
Yeah, they're great. Johnny
yeah.
and Sue, amazing. And the thing looks like the thing from the comics. It's Kirby thing. I'm very happy. Pedro just is.
Yeah, let me tell you why Pedro it doesn't look good. He's mopey Reed Richards. He's just he has his whole attitude of world's coming to an end, and I guess we'll do it. You know, it's like he exudes so much lack of self-confidence that it's hard to believe this guy is the leader of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You know, we saw 2 quick clips of female Silver Surfer. It just looks weird.
Shots.
It just looks wrong.
It doesn't. It's oh god. People have been saying this isn't going to work. They are right. They are right.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, apart from those 2 things, it looks interesting. It looks like it could work.
I don't know what I saw though. It makes me kind of bummed out. Like this could have been great with a different casting for Reed, and just give me Silver Surfer from the comics.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's that moment at Comic-Con where Pedro is kind of like grabbing Vanessa Kirby's hand.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the energy he brings to Reed Richards.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it's Vanessa Kirby.
So,
yeah. So, Marvel underwhelming, and no other announcements, no other Avengers Doomsday, FF Thunderbolts. There you go.
Yeah, the only thing he did confirm is that the chairs, there's more names to be.
Oh, he did say this. He said, "We've revealed some of the cast, but not all of the cast." So I think Hugh Jackman is in it. One thing no one will be talking about is Freakier Friday. Isn't that right, Alan?
We're not the audience. We're just not the audience for this.
With your upcoming Vanguard Award.
Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, who had a costume change.
Thank you so much. We can't begin to tell you how amazing it's been to be back in Anna and Tessa's shoes in Freakier Friday.
Yes, but we don't spend that much time in those shoes, actually, since this Friday is even freakier because this time we have double the swaps.
Yes, you'll get to see Jamie and I take on all new personalities as we find the bodies we have swapped with our teenage counterpart.
It's the scene they showed was so lame. The scene they showed was terribly lame.
Okay.
It was like it's like a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Look, let's be honest. Freakier Friday will be as great as Freaky Friday.
Right. I mean, the original, though.
What do you expect?
The old movie is actually decent.
Yeah, the Jodie Foster version.
Yes,
it was Jodie Foster and Ellen Barkin. I think those are the two. I mean, look, it's a Disney Channel live action movie.
All right,
that's what we got.
One last big thing out of Disney was was Avatar, Fire and Ash. So Zoe, what's funny is Zoe Saldana. I remember everyone pronouncing her name Zoe Saldana. Everyone now introduces her as Zoe Saldana.
Saldana.
Did you notice that?
Yes, because
Zoe
she's
Saldana.
the first Dominican American actress to ever win an Academy Award.
She's the first woman ever to be in a movie, but here she is at CinemaCon.
Finishing up Fire and Ash. It is truly my honor to be here and to tell you about Avatar Fire and Ash. As Jim has said, this film is unlike anything audiences have ever seen, and it's exactly what they want. Fire and Ash expands the beautiful world of Pandora and introduces 2 new clans. The Wind Traders are a peaceful, nomadic, air-traveling clan, and the Ash people are former Na'vi who have forsaken Awa. I'm thrilled to share a clip today that features the Wind Traders, the Ash people, and gives you a sense of where this next chapter of our epic story leads. Without further ado, please put on your 3D glasses and experience Avatar, Fire and Ash.
So that was it. what did you think of the footage? And to be clear, it was not only in 3D, it was in HFR.
Yeah.
It looks like a video game. I did
Yeah.
not like the look of the footage. I hated it, but it's this action, a montage of action with these they look like they're flying on whales mixed with jellyfish.
Yeah.
Like, and they're using them like air balloons, you know, like, and so they're on that and then fighting the ash people that are evil, and they're evil because they have red on them and they're fighting. So
well, I mean,
Jake Sully and his family are kind of caught between these warring tribes.
yeah, I mean, the ash people, let's frame it a little bit better than that. They have forsaken the tree.
Yeah,
so they have disconnected themselves off from
they
that.
are
And that's what makes them
godless.
different.
They are
Yeah,
godless.
they're the atheists or the agnostics. Let's put it that way. They believe in the tree, but they don't subscribe to the tree's philosophy. But quite frankly, I'm pretty interested in this movie.
No, look, I am unabashedly. I like the Avatar movies. I don't collect anything, no toys, no books. I like the experience of those movies. It's like going on vacation. I love seeing it at Dolby Cinema, 3D glasses, lean back. It's like being on the beach.
It's a movie going event.
Yeah, and they're just fun, but you know what happens after? You don't really talk about the movie because there's not much to discuss, but I'll be there 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm sorry, I'm in. I don't like HFR. It looks like crap.
Yeah. I was pretty impressed with Way of Water. You know, I had seen the original one a couple months before Way of Water came out. And I think the biggest thing about Way of Water, and I remember talking about it, was the idea that finally a movie is bringing family back. And I think that's just going to continue here to just tell the story of the Sully family. And I, based on what I saw, you know, it's all emotional, but I'm looking forward to Fire and Ash.
Same. One last thing worth mentioning is a movie that's been kind of mysterious up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a film called Elio, with a little kid who loves aliens and outer space. He wants to be abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
And he has one eye with an eye patch on. So he's got one eye, which was ironic because we saw this preview in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And the title character of the movie can't see the movie in 3D. Make of that what you will. But we put on our 3D glasses and saw the Elio preview, and it was a dud. It was lame. It was for little kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be this strange world of this season. I think it will. I think that movie will fail.
I think it may fail, but it's not going to Strange World. Strange World failed because of the gay teen romance. There's no gay teen romance in this one.
Yeah.
And then I get the sense you want to end this. So let me tell you the movies Chris doesn't want to talk about.
No. I want you to, dude. It's all good. It's all good.
I mean, you don't want to talk about Tron. You don't want to talk about.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to talk about Lilo and Stitch.
No. I forgot about Tron. That looked amazing. Two things about it. We see a teaser for it, and it's basically the Tron world comes into the real world.
Yeah.
And takes
like
over.
The light cycles.
And they with the light cycles, and they made the theater, they added steam and lasers. They should do that in the theater. Actually, it was such a cool effect. But yeah, Tron, and then original music by 9 Inch Nails.
Okay, you want to talk about Predator real quick?
Yes, Predator Badlands.
Yeah, I mean that one. Look, Elle Fanning's in it. First thing she says is they make this is where Predators are not necessarily the bad guys, and I'm like, really? Of course they're not. But I mean, we'll see. I what they showed us, fine, but I don't think anything they said got me excited about Predator. And then the other thing we didn't talk about was Deliver Me from Nowhere, the Bruce Springsteen story.
It's Alan. I'm sorry.
Okay. I know. Who cares?
I can't. Sorry, my apologies, Alan. Could you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, Deliver Me from Nowhere, the Bruce Springsteen story. I mean, it's we just had Bob Dylan. It was fine. I really like that movie, and now you're gonna foist Bruce Springsteen on me this year. Ellie McKay is James L. Brooks' movie. It looks woke. Let's just put it that way. And I think that was it. Amateur was the only other thing. Lilo and Stitch.
But we see Amateur is coming out like very soon.
Yeah, and we got the trailer, and then Lilo and Stitch is the only thing on this whole slate that looks good.
That was the thing that looked the best. It's a home run. You saw How to Train Your Dragon, and your takeaway was just do exactly the animation, but in live action.
Yeah.
Just don't change anything. Don't update. Don't race swap or gender swap. Just do the cartoon live. And Lilo and Stitch looks like the cartoon live.
Yeah, we saw a full scene, and it is shot for shot from the animated series. And the girl who plays Lilo is growing on me.
She is of her age. I mean, she's not a great actress. She's just a kid. And that movie, I think, will do incredibly well.
It will cover the losses of all the other movies we just talked about.
Yeah. Well, Snow White, I mean, God, I mean, they could have made a joke about Snow White bombing, but they said nothing. But overall, Disney's presentation was, I thought, weak.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. We walked out excited from most of the other panels. No one walked out excited from the Disney panel.
Yeah. Let's go to some comments, and then we have more stories for you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. Joe Pat 87 for 5. Fantastic Four wasn't going to have any sort of James Gunn problem. Not enough people, remember? Just the 10 of us to know who this guy is, LOL.
Yep.
Lord Comment for 2. Afternoon, Chris Gore and Alan.
Afternoon. Thank you.
Ben Brindle Beard the Third for 199. Looking forward to the new Cronenberg movie.
You're talking about, I believe it's The Shroud. I've seen it.
Yes.
I've already seen it. I can't talk about it, but it goes full Cronenberg. We'll review it upon release. I've seen it.
Okay. Lord Comment is again for 2. Let Chris Gore read. He's already got the coolness.
Yeah.
You just need the intelligence.
I have, if you look up, I do have a full Reed Richards costume that I wear to Dragon Con with the arms that stretch like 20 feet. So look it up. Look up me as Reed Richards.
Yeah. Lord Comment for 2. What's freaky is they're doing this again. I'm pretty sure they're not spending a lot of money on this one.
Yep.
They're just gonna take the box office. Knee pain. I worked with story/layout artists that worked on Tron 2. The original plot of the Tron sequel, Clue, was supposed to have made it into our world, but it made the movie too long and convoluted.
Looks like that's what they're starting with.
Yeah.
So
now there's one bit of
thing.
wokeness in the Tron legacy. It's a bit is non-binary.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. All right. MK Solid. Chris says, the Silver Surfer have long hair. Does she look feminine? She's got curves. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. And she doesn't have Frankie Ray curves either. ADLS24. Elaine playing the evil Nick Fury. Dumb.
True.
Yeah. Was the implication that the battle took place at Avengers Tower?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. JPTRX. How packed was the theater for Disney? Would think it would be a bit smaller to past conventions. No, everyone's there for everything.
It was packed.
Yeah.
It was packed. The only one that wasn't was Amazon.
Yeah, because it was at 10 o'clock at night.
Because it conflicted with, and this is one I regret not seeing. Yeah. The Amazon, no one went because there was no big James Bond news. They did mention James Bond, but there was one thing that stood out, which was Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. And Project Hail Mary looks like the sci-fi movie event of 2026. It will be coming to theaters. Alan, if you would read the highlights of this story.
Yeah, let me pull it up
it's
here.
The one thing I regret not seeing. Ryan Gosling, not unfamiliar in space-related films. He plays a scientist that is concerned that our stars may be in trouble in our galaxy. Something is going on. And apparently he travels, and there is a starship. There's a mysterious starship maybe behind the extinguishing of stars. You want to read the story, Alan?
All right. At CinemaCon 2025, MGM unveiled the first look at what may become the sci-fi sensation of 2026, Project Hail Mary. Directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and based on the novel The Martian by Andy Weir, the film stars Ryan Gosling as Ryland Grace, a former college professor reluctantly thrust into a cosmic mission to save humanity. The trailer opens with Grace teaching at a modest school when a mysterious woman named Eva approaches him. She references a scientific paper he once wrote, one that got him fired, but now it may hold the key to humanity's survival. The sun is dying, and not just Earth's star. Stars across the galaxy are mysteriously failing, except for one. Enter Project Hail Mary, a desperate, near impossible plan involving faster than light travel, a one-way journey into deep space, and no hope of return. Despite his protests, I put the not in astronaut, he quips. Ryland ultimately accepts the mission. The trailer showcases haunting visuals of deep space, a bearded Ryland awakening in the ship, and his unexpected encounter with a bizarre alien vessel that appears almost wooden in design. Suspicion turns to awe as Ryland makes contact with an alien life form, and a tentative interstellar friendship begins. With heart, humor, and high stakes, Project Hail Mary promises to be a thrilling sci-fi adventure. The footage shown covers only part of the story, suggesting that much more awaits the film in March of 2026.
Yeah, that's the one thing I regret not seeing, but almost everyone I knew skipped it. But Rob Burnett had a lot to say about it. He was wildly positive. So,
yeah.
All right.
It's like, what's that 3 penny solution? 3 cent solution? The one on Netflix that everyone made me watch.
Yeah,
it reminds me.
It was
of that.
great.
Yeah.
It was great. Let's talk final thoughts on CinemaCon. And by the way, Alan and I will be back next year at CinemaCon. We are going to cover it differently. We will do daily coverage from CinemaCon, probably a morning stream and an evening stream, and just give you all the news. That stream we did on Wednesday, you can go back and rewatch it. It's an hour talking about Warner and Superman. I was dead tired. So just to be clear, dead tired. But final thoughts, Alan.
Yeah, well, on the evening stream, I'm going to pretend to barely tolerate you. And
no, what was fun about it is you were right next to me.
No, I'm referring to another broadcast, but
whatever. Like we had fun.
No, we had fun. No, I'm saying I'm referring to a different broadcast that I fell asleep to.
I don't remember what we did on Wednesday. I don't remember. I'm forward thinking here.
Yes.
So
CinemaCon, yeah, it's kind of like what Comic-Con used to be. They would trot people out. They would speak for 2 minutes about their movie and then trot them off. And we didn't have to stand in a 5-hour line to do it. At the same time, this is about movie theaters. This is about the theater owners. It is the commitment that the studios are going to have for theater owners. I believe the major studios have made an agreement that 45 days from theatrical to PVOD, and then Disney went a step further and said 90 days. So, this is the hype machine for movie theaters to get excited. And, a lot of it also is movie theaters. They're going to have to ramp things up. They're going to have to start building synergy there, and that's the thing. I think we talked with the independent movie theaters, and it's all about community. It's all about them knowing what the community wants. And building events surrounding these films, these upcoming films. This is why Comic-Con, CinemaCon exists. It is for the movie owners, and it's to keep the theaters alive.
It's for the movie owners that have theaters.
That have theaters, yes, whenever.
Yeah, exactly. But you made the same mistake. You called it Comic-Con for
I
a
know.
second. James Gunn did that twice, and he did it during rehearsal, so he claims. So I believe him. This seems like what they used to do in Hall H at Comic-Con. They still do it, but I think to a lesser degree. So we'll be back next year. I hope some of our colleagues put the effort in to actually make the trip, because it is well worth it. It's well worth it. So let's go to your super chat comments here.
All right. Leo Cody for 2. Disney stock prices today says it all. Yeah.
Well, actually, Alan pointed out while we were there that every studio that did a presentation, their stock dropped.
Yeah. And they're not affected by tariffs. So, it's interesting.
Exactly.
Lord Comet for 2. Well, if
5.
he makes what? Oh, for 5. Sorry. Lord Comet for $5. Well, if he makes my mistake, he will be an astronaut.
If he makes any mistakes, I would agree.
JPT RX for $10. Thank you. Since Chris missed it, which was funny is when someone said Chris should be Reed because of his coolness. Then Alan said, "Yeah, but Chris is lacking the intelligence." Good one, Ing.
Look, Alan is the king of the joke grenade. He throws out a joke, count 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
But I'm
maybe
trying
I should
to run
call
the
out
show
jokes that I make. That would be
I'm
fun.
trying to run the show and move it along. I can't react to all the jokes.
I
only react to the funny ones, which means I rarely do it.
Well, I think it's funny that you missed that one. Suns and Shadows, screw 45 days. I agree with the chat. 90 days or get the fuck out.
I agree.
So you love Disney.
90
Here,
days.
Disney chill.
Thank you, Sons and Shadows. Gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you for that.
Carnell R&B says he read the entire novel of Project Hail Mary in one sitting.
Yeah, I watched Rob talk about it.
Yeah, and I 100% believe that. Sons and Shadows. So it's Sunshine crossed with Stargate with Red Planet.
Exactly. Hey, M.
And then M for 2. My expectation for Minecraft are
We will get to that. We have a couple more news stories. Here. And let me get to those. Just a few here. I didn't believe this because the story broke on April 1st, but this is confirmed to actually be a thing. Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood follow-up in the works with Brad Pitt starring and David Fincher directing from a Tarantino script. This is real. I mean, I'm all in. It'll probably be on, I think it's Netflix. But Alan, if you would give us the crux of the story, I'd love to hear it.
Well, Cliff Booth and Rick Dalton may reunite in a new film set in the world of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though this time Quentin Tarantino is handing over directing duties to David Fincher. Tarantino wrote the script for the Netflix-based project, which is not a direct sequel but a derivative inspired by the original film. While Brad Pitt is confirmed to reprise his role as Booth, Leonardo DiCaprio's involvement remains uncertain due to other commitments. Interestingly, the film emerged after Pitt, drawn to certain elements of Tarantino's now shelved The Movie Critic, suggested Fincher as the director, prompting Tarantino to give his approval. Fincher, who shares a strong working history with Pitt, is now set to helm the project under an exclusive Netflix deal. The film's connection to Once Upon a Time is facilitated by Tarantino's unique rights to his character, though Sony still holds the rights to the original film. With the production potentially starting in late summer, fans may soon see Booth back in action, even if Dalton return remains in question.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love all the old Hollywood, the sets, the music, the vibe, going to Westwood and seeing a movie, like seeing El Coyote, my favorite Mexican restaurant in LA on Beverly Boulevard, right around the corner from the New Beverly that is owned by Quentin. I love the reverence for cinema. Like, I love it. I mean, he did do also on Netflix, they did a extended version of Hateful Eight broken up into like a series. I think it's 5 or 8 parts. And it's an extended cut, but broken up like an episodic, which if you've not seen Hateful Eight that way, I did. It's great. So I'm all in with Fincher directing. I mean, it could be amazing. So I am looking forward to this one just because I think the world he created, sort of an alternate Hollywood of a certain era, that is now long gone. I'm all in. I'm all in, Alan.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're excited. I'm not the biggest fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I understand the appeal of it. When I heard the story, it was just a lot of weird things. One is it's a Netflix series, which because it's Netflix, it will never appear in a movie theater. Not a single episode, not the first episode, which I find funny when it's a Quentin Tarantino's project. But yeah, this story is so out of the ordinary and weird that it's got to work.
I'm sold just because I like that world. Let's go to comments here.
Lord Comet for 2. My humor is never appreciated. Here's money instead. Yeah.
Thanks, Lord Comet.
Solomon Thornton. I'm shocked that Tarantino is doing a screenplay for a follow-up on Netflix. Wasn't he not a fan of streaming services? It should be, was he not a, yeah, never mind. Yeah, exactly. This is the weirdness that I feel just hearing the story. Geek Tree 64. Honestly, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was one of the best times I ever had with a crowd in a theater.
That's why, look, they should release some of their best stuff to theaters. It's ridiculous. Thank you.
The Dark Knight Returns. I hate to admit it, but there's something there that could work with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Cliff Booth's story still had some meat on the bone.
Yeah, I love that. There was like, he built this whole big universe, not just a story. Like it was layered. I loved it.
Wes Ray, I wouldn't get too excited. Only 1 out of 10 announced Fincher projects get made. At the same ratio for announced Tarantino movies as well. The perfect storm of development hell. But you got Netflix involved, which I think will more than likely make it happen.
Let's talk about something that we've got a video here of Bill Burr. I have to look, I'm going to share a screen here. There's something with when it comes to presenting shorts, there's a weird thing where shorts, they don't, hey, we're live. But I will say a quick reminder to go to our Film Threat Trailers channel. Check it out. New indie film trailers every day. Crazy, weird trailers you will not see anywhere else, including Cannibal Mukbang, Popeye the Slayer Man, lots there, and our interviews channel. Today, we are reviewing the movie The Luckiest Man in the World. And guess what? We have an interview with the director and Paul Walter Hauser. We have an interview with Uwe Boll. We clip our interviews with indie filmmakers. We put them on our interviews channel. So a quick reminder, please sub to those channels and support Film Threat. Now, I'm going to take this link. When I put it, because it's a short, it just automatically plays. Right. I can't pause it. So this is Bill Burr. I don't know this story. Atomic Glory, I trust you. So let's see.
Bill Burr is very angry with those of you who think that Snow White sucked and are making fun of Snow White.
For conservative people to act like they're not the biggest babies also is hilarious. Have you seen this? My people, Whitey, we're all upset. There's enough of us to get it going, trending anyway. We're upset about the new Cinderella movie. The actress playing Cinderella isn't white. There's no prince. They changed the story. What am I going to tell my kids?
All of us making fun of them recasting Snow White as a not white person when it's literally in the character description. That's his suggestion of conservative sin. This is a dude who does comedy about the airline boarding processes. There's no one whinier in comedy than Bill Burr.
So here's my comment on that. I don't care what Bill Burr says. Be funny. If your job description is comedian and now he's riffing on conservatives, it wasn't funny. If it was funny, which funny is rooted in truth. Alan, you know something about comedy. I'm loath to admit you know something about comedy. Well, you should see the videos we're going to post from CinemaCon of Alan. I just followed Alan around. And
I know he's like, hey, I'm going to video you right now. Just go down and make jokes.
And well, you did make an occasional joke, but all I'm saying is I don't care if Bill Burr makes fun of left, right, whatever. Just be funny. It was objectively not funny. Did you laugh?
Oh, from Bill Burr? What do you?
Yeah, just now what we saw, the clip.
No,
Yeah,
I was quite insulted, by the way.
And also, it's just political commentary. Now he's just mocking one side, and not in a way that's like he doesn't understand the argument. He got the movie wrong, and then there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
It's not about. I don't know that the controversy about Rachel Zegler not being white. I don't care. She looks like Snow White. They did her hair like Snow White. I think that's fine. The problem is her basically being so hateful towards half the country, to her wrapping promotion of a Snow White movie within some political message about Palestine. I think that's what people are reacting to. I think less so. I mean, Halle Bailey in Little Mermaid, after the movie came out, nobody really cared. It was fine. She fulfilled the role. She's not the problem with that movie. I don't blame the actors cast, but when they go off with these takes that are, mock half the country, that's a problem. Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, similar to Halle Bailey. Look, if the movie was good, you'd have something to say. But you watch the movie, it is ostensibly bad, it is awful. It goes all in the wrong directions, and it has nothing to do with Rachel Zegler's skin color or her politics. It's just an awful movie. And if you want to prove people wrong, if you want to say this is the thing, you didn't like my movie, you're a racist. You didn't like my movie, you're a misogynist. Marvel's, Wish, all these movies that have diversity in it, no one watched it. Why? It's not because there was diversity. It's because it was a bad movie. And to say that, well, you hate it because you're a racist, that's the most insulting part. That's the short-sighted fault. And it's not going to fix the problem of Hollywood constantly putting out bad movie after bad movie after bad movie.
And we're not talking about this just because we want to, drag the discussion of Rachel Zegler, on and put Rachel Zegler on the thumbnail. That is not why we're talking about this. It might a little bit maybe, but it's just that, it's weird when comedians go woke. And by the way, I was a fan and defender of Bill Burr up until recently, but he has gone so far the other way.
Someone has something on him. He's being blackmailed.
It's just weird, dude. You used to mock both sides, and now he's lost me. Yeah. And I was a fan for years. He's always good on Rogan. I like his specials on Netflix, but he lost me.
Yeah. I lost my.
And again, this is not just about Rachel Zegler or an excuse to do another video or put her face on a thumbnail. We may or may not do that in a clip, but it's worth talking about Bill Burr. Just this nonsense doesn't work. Let's go to comments, Alan. I'm going to take a quick break.
Sure.
Because I'm going to get coffee. I'll be right back.
All right. 3D Honda member for 2 months. Any Tron Ares news at the con at all? Yeah, I mean, there was a presentation. Jared Leto and Jeff Bridges were there to talk about.
You showed up late. They showed a clip.
Yeah, they showed the clip. They showed up late, but yeah, I think Jeff Bridges was more excited that Nine Inch Nails was doing the soundtrack than anything else. And it just showed us basically Tron in going, all the elements of Tron in Los Angeles going down the freeway. Looks interesting. Let's just put, but it was a puff piece. Okay, Stephen Mack, I'm sorry, Lord Comment for 2. Chris Gore, Ziegler fled the country to Dubai due to the backlash. Yes, I believe she's doing Broadway now. She's doing the British version of Broadway, the West End, I believe. Let's see. All right, let's go back up to the top. Stephen Mack. Somehow Alan knows something about comedy. Nigera Snape. I don't understand that one. When Bill Barr speaks, I can't help but feel it's actually his wife talking through him. When people make sudden changes like that, especially toward more liberal causes, I always feel like something got exposed. Someone visited him one night and said, "Hey, look through this envelope and tell me what you think, and then let's have a discussion about your future." All right. Khaled, once again, Alan pulls me back. I think that might be a good comment. Drew Gordon, Gal Gadot wasn't tweeting, "Go see Snow White, free the hostages," because she's a little more professional than Ziegler. Exactly. Ron Sharman, member for 11 months. Ziegler wasn't the right choice for Snow White. JPTRX, she was hating on the original, which gave her an opportunity to be in the remake. Yeah. I think that comment to me was the one that kind of did her in my mind. Patrick Lemire, Bill Burr's act is blowing little things that bother him into 20-minute riffs. Yeah, all right. Jinx, as much as I hate Ziegler's attitude, Snow White flopped because it was a bad movie. Yes, not just because of her comments outside the acting. Yeah, exactly. If you have a bad movie coming out, the best thing you could do is tweet about Free Palestine and get your politics out there. Let's just make that audience even smaller as we possibly can. All right. Anything else, Lori?
Alan, you can just talk to the
audience. What?
You can talk to the audience.
I am, but it's also nice to react to comments. Our Martian, like most people, are nuanced, but we're programmed to binary thinking of black and white and good and evil, when the real world is nothing like that. Yeah, the real world is this happy medium in between. Let me see. There's someone new to the chat that I'm trying to find.
Anyways,
all
right. Well, you can also just tell stories. You don't have to
yeah, but I think my feeling was you were about to pinch it off and head back to.
I just got coffee and took a leak.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to get to reviews now. So let's get those posters up, and we'll talk about Wake Up, and then we'll talk about movies. Well, I'll review some films that you haven't seen, Alan.
Yes.
And then we'll also review Minecraft. We have a lot of reviews today. Here's a movie in limited release, and I believe on coming to VOD, called Wake Up. It's an action horror movie that tackles a topic today that's relevant, and that is activists. A group of young activists break into a facility where there's animal testing on animals, and they're going to make a statement with paintball guns and crazy masks. They break in, and this is super low budget horror. And what it turns out is they get trapped. They're going to go in at night to this facility and then leave to make a statement. Well, guess what? They get locked in, and the security at the overnight at this facility, it ends up turning into a slasher horror where the first 30 minutes of the movie, I'm like, ugh, these activists are the heroes. No, they're the a-holes. They get what they deserve. So it basically is mocking their activism as they are one by one offed in like a Halloween like slasher way. It's super low budget. I mean, it's the movie's short. I just like that it flipped my expectation. I thought, oh my God, typical. Let's celebrate the activists, but they turn out to be the idiots. And there's, some original kills. It starts out kind of playful, like this is gonna be a message, and the message is you're morons for thinking that. So I thought, like those I hate those things that go viral where people go and like throw tomato soup at like the Mona Lisa and stuff like that. Like it just infuriates me. Or those idiots that like super glue their hands to the pavement,
yeah,
or sit in front of cars to like stop oil. Like this is a movie that began in a way where you think that they're on the side of the activists, but they end up being the unwitting victims of forces in the facility. So it's fine. It's low budget, cheap horror. I don't know. I give it a 5 or a 6. It's not a great movie, but if you're looking for something new horror, give it a shot. Visually, very interesting with their masks and whatnot. And I think the right people got what they deserved. Let's go to comments.
Horror film about killing or maiming activists.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like whenever I see these videos of activists like on Twitter or whatnot, it pisses me. Like I get physically like if some idiot was in front of me and I'm in my car, I'm getting out of my car and I'm dragging your body to the side and I am driving through the road. It's so insufferable, these people, that they turn everyone against them. I mean, like I am specifically not for your cause because you're like, and the ones that are even more annoying are the ones that get in the freeway and block the freeway, and there's ambulances trying to get to a hospital, or like this activism has gone too far, and so I'm pleased this movie mocks it and shows a bunch of them getting killed off.
And you only gave it a 6.
Well, the movie's not that great, but it was the theme, the fact that it twisted the theme, I liked. So
okay. I'm gonna
like I say, it's not, don't rush out to see it.
I'm gonna rush out to see it.
But if in a pinch, I think we have a review on the website too.
Yes.
It's I had fun with it. I had fun with it because the victims were people that I loathe. And I don't think these people understand. They're turning people against them. Here's what you do if someone super glues their hand to cement. Leave them there. At some point, they're gonna need food. At some point, they're gonna need to use a restroom. Yeah. Leave them there in their filth and let them starve. Let them learn a lesson. Let's and the punishment for these people that do this kind of activism. And I speak of what's happening with Tesla across the country. It's infuriating. And what you kind of find out is a lot of these people are paid to do that. Mm-hmm. They're paid to protest, and not small sums of money either. Dave Smith was on the recent Joe Rogan podcast talking about some of these activists are paid to protest, and it's like good money, like $400, $1,000 a day. Yeah, you can get a bunch of people to show up. But this is sort of an anti-activism movie, but it starts as one that is like pro. And I guess maybe I saw it as I don't feel sorry for these people getting offed. Let's go to comments.
Well, I was going to say the best thing you can do for the environment is burn a Tesla. All right. 2 Penny Puppet, member for 4 months. William Tell snuck up. Is it any good?
We haven't seen it.
But we will have a review. I know we have a review for it. Pilgrim Media for 2. Do things in Vegas stay in Vegas? Well, do they?
This time.
Yeah.
And by the way, when Alan says we have a review, it's on the website, filmthreat.com. Just look it up in the search bar. Thank you, Pilgrim.
Fresh Snow. Activists getting their due. I'm in. Yes, plot alone makes me want to see this movie.
Well, it starts like you're supposed to be on the side of the activists, but then
Yeah.
like you see them getting, off
Murdered.
one by one, and I love it. I love it. There's definitely not the statement they intended.
Yes. The only violence I want to see against activists are in movies. ADLS24, if this is the case, the title of Wake Up is funnily ironic.
Yeah, it is. Like, you think it's like a woke movie. It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't. It is just a low budge horror looking for fun. Let's review. We got to get to Minecraft.
Yeah.
But should we do Screamboat? Let's do Screamboat, Alan, if you would.
Okay.
Let's talk about Screamboat, Alan. I saw this movie and we reviewed the filmmakers last week. Look up on our YouTube channel for an interview with the look up Film Threat interviews on the channel, interview with the Screamboat filmmakers and the producer, actress, and the director. But Alan, tell us about Screamboat. This is another of those IP where Steamboat Willie is in the public domain. Screamboat is a little mouse, which is actually a guy in a costume that kind of looks like the Grinch, the way that Jim Carrey did the Grinch, kind of like that. It's kind of part puppet, part guy in a costume that's kind of like a couple feet tall. Alan, tell me about Screamboat.
Yes. Well, you mentioned Screamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
It's played by David Howard Thornton, who you know as Art the Clown.
Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Okay, so it's a fairly simple plot. A whole bunch of people need to get on the Staten Island ferry to go home one late night. And on that trip, a little mischievous creature known as, they're calling it Steamboat Willie. He's on board. He's a little demented and decides he's going to kill everybody. And so on this steamboat trip, with a lot of people on it, they all die one by one until a big body massacre occurs in the middle of the film.
Yeah, well,
it's the Love Boat of horror films. You have all these sympathetic characters, but characters you hate. There's a I think it's a bachelorette party of drunk Disney princesses.
Yeah,
which reminds me
that was funny. They have these Disney princesses. They're all kind of representing a Disney princess. Each of them. They get on the boat and they're drunk. It's a bachelorette party.
Yeah,
and they get offed one by one. It's how creative the kills are.
Yeah, and in terms of dialogue, there are so many Disney puns sprinkled throughout this entire film. It's for the Disney fan. If you are a Disney fan, you're gonna recognize all those little jokes they throw in. This reminds me a lot of I have Full Moon Features subscribed to it, but it's like the Puppet Master. It's kind of that. The movie's in that vein. It's slasher horror, but there's kind of a funny end to it, which kind of takes a little bit of the edge off of it. I mean, that's pretty much the movie. Just people die in interesting ways, in creative ways. And, so I would throw it on the list of Full Moon Features. It's that quality. The fact that it's actually shot on a Staten Island ferry owned by unknown investors who may or may not.
Yeah. Colin Jost and Pete Davidson.
Yeah. So if you're just looking for some dumb fun, this is the movie to see.
It's dumb fun. It's also about creative kills, like heads being smashed in. So if you like Disney jokes or mocking Disney along with some blood and gore, this is your movie. Let's go to comments here.
The thing I like though is you don't necessarily know. You think you know who will survive, and they don't. All right. Rudy for 5 went to see a Screamboat Q&A in Burbank and won a poster signed by David Howard Thornton. I love the movie. It's so funny and so many Easter eggs.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hidden Mickeys,
Look,
let's call that.
You know what you're getting going into one of these, public domain slasher movies. So just enjoy it.
All right. Pilgrim Media for 5. Chris, did you ever go to the Beach Club Vegas? We were so drunk. Cheap Trick threw us out. It's closed now.
Never went there. I've been to most of the main hotels, Luxor. I've been to most of them. Caesars. But never. Yeah, I did not go to that.
Lower comment for 2. The movie should be renamed Screamboat Willie.
They could
be. Alan's Aunt Wang. Hey, by the way, it should be Auntie Wang, if you want to get it right. Chris loves the cheap public domain garbage movies. He's not like Alan.
Well, Alan likes them too. Look, I watch all of them. I will see it. And they're not, look, I Heart Willie was not great. That one was bad. That got a bad review.
That was torture porn.
There was torture porn. Did not like it. The Neverland, did not like that one. I liked Screamboat. And The Death of Snow White is coming in a few weeks. We have the filmmakers coming on, including the young woman who plays Snow White. She is better than Rachel Zegler. She looks like Snow White. She is beautiful. Watch that trailer. So.
Yes. All right. Khalid, are the kills related to their princess themes? Not really.
Not really, but there's
that's a good idea for the next one.
There's jokes. They could do a Screamboat Willie too.
Like,
right.
Like the princesses are kind of like Gen Z influencers, and that's kind of how they get killed.
All right, let's talk about Minecraft, if you would.
Let's see.
I'll wait patiently.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Lori's doing posters. So
well, there you go. Alan, time to talk Minecraft, a movie that nobody asked for. We've seen the rise of the video game to movie adaptation. The Sonic series has been very popular. Super Mario Brothers was a colossal hit, and it's been announced there will be a Super Mario Brother Part 2 next year. Now Minecraft. Now Minecraft is a different kind of game. I have never played it. I downloaded it, was like, this game feels like work. I don't know what the story of Minecraft is, but doesn't need to be a movie. Let me just say that my feeling is the people that love the Minecraft game like playing Minecraft and probably will not turn out for this movie. If only maybe for the merch. There's Minecraft popcorn buckets and gifts and toys in theaters that are playing this. Alan and I saw this last night at a theater in Vegas before
following the Disney presentation.
As we're going home. I'll tell you what I thought. This movie is directed by someone I know, Jared Hess, who directed Napoleon Dynamite, who did a movie called Nacho Libre with Jack Black. I like Jared Hess. And oddly, I was very surprised because the first maybe 20 minutes of this movie that's in like the real world actually is kind of heartwarming. Jason Momoa plays a guy who's kind of a loser, actually, who he's Garrett Garrison, who won a video game championship, and he's sort of living off his past, but he's kind of a loser. We meet these two young kids, Natalie and Henry. Natalie's this young woman taking care of her younger brother, and Jennifer Coolidge is the principal at the school that Henry goes to, and it's kind of a human story, the beginning, and feels very Napoleon Dynamite. Danielle Brooks is Dawn. This I think she's a real estate agent that sells alpacas or whatever.
Yeah, she wants to run a petting zoo.
Well, alpacas are a big part of Napoleon Dynamite. The weak link in the movie, well, there's two things. Once the movie goes into the game world, I don't get the logic. It's terrible. So you have 20 minutes of kind of what feels like an old indie movie. And then Jack Black is insufferable in this film. I'm sure he was very funny on set and made people laugh when he came up with different line readings for what he could say. his way of acting in this movie takes you out of the movie. It's god awful. Worst movie of the year so far. Maybe worst movie of this decade. I mean, I give it a, I don't know. It just, so many aspects of it. There's a moment where Jack Black as Jason Momoa is like, and Jack Black are kind of like hanging onto each other, sort of face to butt, and they have to like get really close, and it's not funny, but they milk it, and it's just weird. The stuff with the Uncanny Valley, like bad CGI effects, are weird. Jennifer Coolidge's character as the vice principal goes on a date with a Minecraft character.
The villager, yeah. The
villager that they keep cutting back to. He likes that he's the strong, silent type. What a god-awful film. I mean, first of all, also kudos to Jared Hess. Take the money, because I know indie film, you're not going to be huge. And Jared Hess has made much better movies, which are all of his other movies. But this, you know what? One for you and one for the studio.
Well, see, now he can make
got a good
more
paycheck.
indie films. He can make more indie films now.
Yeah, he can make more indie movies. Go make another indie movie. This is awful. I don't know if Minecraft fans will like it, but it looks like box office wise, this will eclipse Snow White opening weekend. Alan, what did you think of Minecraft? And I sat next to you, or we were next to each other in our recliners. I kept looking over like they did.
But the thing is, you were legit laughing at moments.
At the beginning of the movie.
Laughing out
because it was so
loud.
dumb.
Okay.
It was so dumb.
Okay, so a couple things. One is Jack Black single-handedly destroys this movie.
Yes, that is true.
Like you said, insufferable, which was a word I gave you last night. It was, it's the, my name is Steve, and I like mining. This is the over-the-top acting he brings to it, while everyone else is trying to act normal. Jason Momoa is probably the best thing in the movie. He is Napoleon Dynamite. And when you watch him in the real world and think about Napoleon Dynamite, and I believe he is doing a Napoleon Dynamite impression to here.
Precisely.
Okay. Unlike you, I have played hundreds of hours of Minecraft.
Okay.
So I have a daughter who got me into the game. She has played thousands of hours of Minecraft. So one thing important to say is the movie really doesn't explain Minecraft. So if you have never played Minecraft, you're going to struggle with this movie.
Right.
I mean, you didn't know what's going on.
Yes, I did not.
Yeah. The other thing is, there are two elements to Minecraft. There's the building, the creation, world building of Minecraft, and then there's the battle. At the end, you got to get to, is it a dragon or something at the end? Yeah, there's a dragon at the end that you want to kill. My daughter was a lot into the action-based elements of Minecraft, which is what this is trying to portray versus the creative one that I played. The thing is that I think one of the fundamental problems with the Minecraft movie is when you play the game of Minecraft, you are making your own movie. You are building a world, you are interacting with the environment, you are role-playing and things like that. And now here comes a movie that says, now I'm going to tell a Minecraft story. I'm going to put on a big screen, and it's going to look nothing like you remember from the game. There are characters, there are things that I don't remember seeing in the game. It may be because I haven't played in 5 years that they may have added these things, but I don't think they're there. It just becomes, I think people who have never played the game are going to be lost because when you see game things happen, you don't know why it's happening. And the other thing is, if you are a fan of Minecraft, this is not the movie you imagine when you play Minecraft. But it's apparently, so far the box office seems to be okay. There's enough.
No, it's estimated like 70 million.
Yeah, 70 million, which is okay. it's got the characters you're familiar with, but they're not doing things you're familiar with. So the best thing I could say about this is I got through it. I got through the beginning, and I will say that this. You say this is the worst movie. No, this is better
of this year. Of this year.
No, okay, this is better than Snow White. I would watch this movie again over Snow White.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. But
I just think it's terrible. I had no expectations, and it was below that. The only thing I really liked was Jason Momoa as this loser. He's like a Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
No,
but he's into tots. The way he speaks is very much like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it's the elements that Jared Hess brought in from his indie film, background were good, but it's like the small part of the movie. And then every scene Jack Black is in, I want to it was just insufferable. Insufferable is the only way. It's like he's in a different movie, and everyone else it was very like the brother sister that was actually very sweet, but they're not. They were good. It's like they could be in an indie movie. Jared has brought something to this, but it is just bad beyond belief. So
I can also tell you that my daughter, who is a massive Minecraft fan, the moment she heard that Jack Black was cast as Steve, I mean, Steve is the iconic character of it, and to bring in Jack Black and that's our representation of Steve. I think that turned off a lot of people. I can tell you.
Well,
that.
here's the big question: your daughter played thousands of hours of Minecraft, is a Minecraft fan. Does she want to see the movie?
No, she doesn't want to see the movie.
She does. Okay, she's
you don't want to see the
target
movie,
demo.
No.
I was offered to watch the movie earlier today. I refused.
Oh yeah,
I screamed.
Friends have invited her to see the movie, and she said no, she's not going to see it.
People have also been asking me what you think.
Okay, we're doing a screen.
Okay, we're doing a show. yeah. We don't want to dox your daughter here.
I know
you have a daughter who
look. I'll be upfront. She's the gauge. She's my gauge currently with the youth, but she does. Again, people point out she doesn't exactly represent all youth, but.
Yes,
I think
she has you for a dad.
Pretty close.
She has you for a dad. All right. So, Alan, I give it a 2 out of 10.
I'll give it a 3 just because I got through it.
Let's go to comments here.
All right. Let's see. CB the Legend 11 for 199. Fantastic Four universe is going to die. Why waste Norrin Rad? My understanding is he had no choice.
Yeah, it was Kevin Feige was required to make that change. I think that what Kevin Feige should do, Marvel has made so many billions at the box office, he needs to push back against all of these people in the HR department telling him what he has to do and tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, remind him, remember when I had full reign and I made good ones? I want to go back to that.
Yeah, like Kevin Feige needs to go F off. Every studio executive that seems to have the HR department has them by the balls, fuck off, fire them.
Yeah, they're neurotic.
Gary, neurotic.
The decision.
Yeah. Hey, I'll see you later, Gary. By the way, I'll be on FNT later today. Barely alive, but I'm doing it.
Okay, so you got home, you went to sleep, you woke up, you did
I did
the Gamers
Daily, this, and we're going over time. I have 2 more films to review. 2 more that are worth seeing. They're worth seeing. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, good. Bill S. Preston Esquire. I heard the effects were bad. Obvious green screen clipping. I mean, yeah, obvious green screen.
Yes.
The effects.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't feel like Minecraft. It definitely doesn't look like the Minecraft game I played. Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Sorry about that.
I heard the effects. Okay, we got that one.
Yeah.
Rudy for 5. I actually enjoyed it. It was fun but cheesy in my opinion. But Minecraft is super nostalgic for me. Jack Black was the worst part, though. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Davina Duckworth, I've seen kids play Minecraft. This movie looks terrible.
100%.
Rhaegar Targaryen, I just have no desire to see this movie whatsoever, but I also find the game of Minecraft boring. I don't think it makes sense as a movie. Exactly, because we're making the movie while we play the game.
Well, what's weird is I looked over at Alan. I'm like, that was a terrible movie, but it wasn't boring.
No, I got through it. I mean, 3/4 of the way through Snow White, it was like, this needs to end. This needs to end right now.
Yeah.
ADS 24, this seems like a CGI vomit fest. Sons and Shadows, Jack Black's last good movie was Tropic Thunder. Let's see. Uncle Remus. Hey, Uncle Remus. Visual diarrhea. Well said, Uncle Remus. MK Solid. Jack Black needs to be done. His days of being a little clown are over. We've had enough.
Cool. Appreciate all the comments. Those that gave us supers. I have 2 more films to review that that Alan has not seen.
Nope.
That I have seen that are worth seeing. A movie called Freaky Tales, believe it or not, that stars, well, does not star Pedro Pascal. He is part of an ensemble of actors, including, believe it or not, Too Short, Angus Cloud as Travis, and Tom Hanks as a video store employee. This is a movie set in 1987 in Oakland, California. It is directed by Ryan Fleck and Anna Bowden, co-directors on this part comedy, part action, part like weird sort of intersecting short stories about a day in Oakland, California with an NBA star, and there's just weirdness happening all over the place. Pedro Pascal's character, he lost his wife, Clint. He's going through something. It's very rooted in the time in terms of the music. And I can go on and describe the events. There's violence. There are scrapes between rival gangs, and some of them are the Nazis. And I mean, actual skinhead Nazis with swastika tattoos in there. Like the ones I knew when I was a kid, when people referred to Nazis, that's what I think of. Not like people that wear red hats, okay? Real ones that hated people and would start fights. Like they existed in Detroit where I grew up on the east side. Long story. I won't get into it. But this is a very smart, fun film focused on a series of characters, of which Pedro Pascal is one. It gets violent. There is a samurai sword. People get into it, right? The rival gang thing in the beginning that opens the kind of, it's like these intersecting short stories, kind of like Magnolia, if you like that movie, by Paul Thomas Anderson. And it has a vibe that I can only describe as very much like The Warriors. If you are a fan of The Warriors, which is a highly underrated movie. I love that movie. It's very Shakespearean. That film, and this is definitely takes inspiration from that. Ben Mendelsohn is a foil in this. He's like a corrupt cop with a shotgun doing not so good things, and it's just a very good weird indie movie that is character based with intersecting short stories that get violent and funny and ironic, and a standout performance from Ji Young Yu as a young woman named Tina, and she was very good in the film. She's part of the gang to go after the Nazis, but it's very much a set in the 80s. It also involves mixtapes. I mean, we should just, what we should do? We should watch the trailer, because I think the trailer for this movie, do we do reaction to this?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's this. I got sucked in by the trailer. It's from Lionsgate. We should just watch the trailer, because and we do have on our YouTube channel for members only. I filmed the Q&A from this at a screening of it. Let's watch the trailer because I'm really tired. And also, I want to share this with you. I want to have some. Look, most movies this year have been crap. Hit. Garbage. Some of the worst films we've seen. Snow White, Captain America, Minecraft. We need some hope. So this movie, and we'll see a trailer for another movie. There are good films that are playing, but there's smaller indie movies that are not everywhere. Check this out. Am I sharing it now?
Yes, you are. I see.
All right. Alan, check it out.
I don't know. Pedro looks like a big part of this movie.
He's not. That's what's weird. Like, it really is ensemble. He is 1/3 of the movie, maybe. So please don't be turned off by the fact that Pedro's in it. They overused him in the trailer to make it look like he's the lead. He is not. It is an ensemble film. Like I said, a series of short stories that intersect based on different characters, and Sleepy Floyd is the sort of thread. So I recommend it. Give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And it's what indie movies do best. So, and I do like the fact that it's very much Warriors inspired. Let's go to comments.
G-True64. Just when you thought they couldn't fit Pascal into another movie.
Yeah, I get it. Like, don't let that turn you off. What's weird is I like Pedro Pascal in some roles. He's good, not as Reed Richards.
Yeah. I mean, they could have put Awkwafina in that movie too. Okay, I noticed they didn't put from the directing team of Captain Marvel on the poster.
Well, to be fair to them, they're rooted in indie film, and I don't think, some people can cross over James Gunn, other people not so much. So there you go.
All right, Lord Comment for 2. Help me, CG Kenobi. You're my only hope.
I'll take it.
Red French Moon for 2 euros. Katana, Tomahawk, Shotgun, 80s, good trailer. I'm in.
Yep.
Mike MC Wong, Bob Trevino likes it. Was really surprisingly good.
Yes. And Alan still has not seen it.
Yeah, I was on a business trip this week.
You can, dude.
You can watch.
The movies we have, you have screener links, including the next movie.
Trevino,
I kept telling you. All right.
I was on a business trip. You know how
business trip. You had time.
We barely spent time cuddling.
You were watching John Campea. Well, to be fair, it helped Alan get to sleep.
Yeah. I went through 2 minutes of John Campea and I was out. So
yeah.
There you go. Tom Siebert. Hey, Tom. The Warriors director cut inferior to theatrical. Walter Hill's best. Someone mentioned that The Warriors was in theaters recently. Razorburn. It was either R&B or Edgar Wright. Razorburn. Chris, I assume it's all 80s soundtrack in this movie.
It is. And I love it. I personally love it. All right. Let's talk about our last film for today. Let me set this up. I'm going to set it up. Let's talk about The Luckiest Man in America. If you subscribe to our Film Threat Interviews channel, we have an interview with Paul Walter Hauser. He is on fire lately. We'll see him in the upcoming Naked Gun movie. I loved him as Richard Jewell. He's just a guy that pops up. You've seen him in Cobra Kai. He is the lead actor in this movie. So check out interviews with him on our interview channel and the director. This is based on a true story about a man who appeared on a game show. His name was Michael Larson. And he went on this game show and won the most amount of money ever won on a game show up to that point. To the point where people on the show thought he was cheating. He had a trick, not a cheat, a trick that allowed him to be able to win. The cast is rounded out by Walton Goggins, who plays Peter, the host of the game show. Maisie Williams, Sylvia, who is one of the producers on the show. Johnny Knoxville is in it as well, along with David Stratham, who is a studio executive. Great.
Hey, I need to interrupt you. It's the Press Your Luck TV scandal, game show scandal.
Yeah, sorry. Press Your Luck is the name of the game show. And the director who I spoke to about this movie, he happened on an old VHS tape in a resale shop that had the episode on it that where Michael Larson won. So he actually just discovered this tape and was like, this would make a great movie. It's 90 minutes. It's tight. It's Paul Walter Hauser has a way of creating a very sympathetic character. He's also funny. He can do humor and drama so well. And this is a mix of the two. And there's a whole subplot involving his daughter and family that is touching, but the way this thing amps up, and I will say what I loved about it was the production design and the music. The music in this makes it so intense as you're watching it. Like if you've ever watched a game show where you're fearing for the person that is playing the game and you're so invested, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you would do that where they had that music. They do that in this movie. A strong recommend for me. I think, you know what? Let's show the trailer real quick because I want Alan, you to want to see the movie. I just want you to see it.
I have no idea what you just said.
I want you to see the movie.
Okay.
Here, let's watch it.
From Television City in Hollywood, it's time to press your luck.
I just came off a 3-day trek from my hometown in Ohio. And I drive an ice cream truck. I love the show. I've probably seen every episode.
I like the guy. Stories like those are why America loves game shows.
Let's meet our 3 contestants vying for the big bucks.
Big bucks.
Now, the big board is filled with money, but be careful of the whammies because they'll take you right back down to 0.
I see those big bucks. Stop!
4,000 and a spin.
I'm gonna keep going.
Stop! 16,000.
Pass, man. The mathematicians are giving me 6 to 1 odds.
What's wrong with this guy?
Keep going.
He's gonna go.
Stop!
$24,000.
Again. We have a problem. Somebody didn't vet this guy. He's not playing the game right. We got to scare him.
It'd be a little pity he got held up here in LA.
It's a lot of money. Do you want to spin and risk losing it all?
I said again.
I tried to warn him.
Just find out who this guy is.
Are you doing something wrong? I'm actually closing a big deal right now. That's gonna change everything.
I don't know what to tell you. Heads are gonna roll for this.
Do I know you from somewhere? Not America's Most Wanted, right?
You think that he's working alone? I have no idea.
All part of the game, right?
You just made more than anyone in the history of game shows.
Luck is just a good excuse to do nothing and then hope that an opportunity comes a knocking.
It's in theaters today. I recommend it. 8 out of 10 for me. It's 90 minutes, does not overstay its welcome. It's just fun. I mean, it's part thriller, comedy, true story. It's a weird genre blending, and I had a great time with it. Alan, I hope you'll check it out.
Yeah, I want to see this. I know the Press Your Luck scandal.
Well, you know that story?
It's not a scandal. The guy just hacked the system.
What's weird.
He knew how to. He knew what to do to win.
He figured out a way to beat the game, and it threw everyone for a loop. So my whole point and why I showed trailers is I want people to understand lots of crappy movies come out every week from Hollywood. This is a small indie movie that was made. The guy, the director, got like foreign financing. They filmed it in like Brazil. Like, it's just weird. Like, this is not a Hollywood movie. It's being distributed by IFC Films. But the thing is, every week, not every week is a winner at the theater, but there are gems here and there. Freaky Tales, Luckiest Man in America. Last week, Bob Trevino Likes It expands to more theaters. There are small little indie movies worth your time. And part of the reason Film Threat exists is to tell you about them. But if you read the comments on our YouTube channel, it's very clear people don't watch the channel on a regular basis. Like, why are you doing another Rachel Zegler video? Well, to be fair, it does bring eyeballs, but it also helps you discover movies like this one and Freaky Tales, among others. And we will continue to do that. And thank you so much for sticking around to watch this review. Let's go to comments here as we wrap up the show.
All right. From Thanaren for 50 Norwegian krona. I run a cinema in a small town in Norway. Appreciate your CinemaCon coverage. I'm hopeful. First time seeing a whole stream. Well, I got through it. Thank you for
that. Well, thank you for that. And are you close to Finland? Isn't Finland border
near Norway?
Are those Scandinavian countries? I get those mixed up.
Then there's Danish land.
There you go.
Aurora Uplinks, member for 10 months. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys and want to say how much I enjoy listening to you, Chris and Alan. I have such good experiences listening to you.
Well, sometimes we fight. Actually, that was the most fun about CinemaCon, was you being right next to me in the room, but we're on separate screen. I like the separate screen. The 2-shot just doesn't work. That was really fun. We should do that again.
We had to share the same mic, but that was the only thing.
You know what? It worked.
Sons and Shadows, was this the incident that caused the tax issue with game shows where you have to pay taxes on winnings before receiving your winnings? I have no idea.
I'm not aware, Sons and Shadows, but see the movie and I'm sure the internet knows the answer.
I mean, Quiz Show is the obvious companion to this one, and two very different takes on the game show scandal. Since Corner, interesting. I had initially written this one off, but maybe I'll think again. Look, Paul Walter Hauser. See anything he's in. If anything, he uplifts a bad movie.
I did a very short interview with him that's on our channel. I think it posts today. He doesn't make easy choices. He likes to do things that are interesting. So there you go.
All right, Patrick Lunger, it's fun watching a rube beat the house.
It is an underdog story.
Yes. Let's see. Gabby 13, I think, for £2. Thanks for making more Star Wars videos. You guys are lovely.
Andor season 2 is coming, so we'll probably break that. Thank you.
Let's see. I remember the story of Michael Larson. There was a doc that used to play on the Game Show Network back in the day. Yeah, it's a famous story here in LA.
Thank you, Geek Truth 64.
LK Film Threat. I watched these episodes of Press Your Luck when they first aired. I still remember they shot an opening telling people this was a special event and it was going to be a 2-part show.
Yeah, they go into that in the story.
Sons and Shadow. Paul Walter Hauser is a half wrestler now. No, because he's on AEW, and that makes him no wrestler.
What are you talking about?
Inside baseball here.
There you go. All right, that wraps it up for us today. Thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth and MK Solid. Appreciate you. Also, Atomic Lori, who does not give herself enough credit. So, and Glenn Nuccio, one last super here.
Steve Giano for 5. Freaky Tales deserves an audience and is great to watch in a packed house.
Yeah, I saw it with a packed audience and they were over the moon enthusiastic. Very surprising. So there you go. And thank you for that, Steven. Appreciate it. Thank you. I want to say thanks to Alan. We had a good time in Vegas.
Yeah.
We broke the seal of being in a hotel room together. And I think we just laughed most of the time and made jokes.
I know.
And it was fun.
I was kind of thinking I could turn John Campea off before I fell asleep, but no, that didn't happen.
No, he would go to, and I'm thinking while he's watching it, he was actually falling asleep like that. You were out like a light. So yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We will return to CinemaCon next year with more aggressive coverage now that we have figured it out, I guess. So yeah.
And by the way, before I appear on John Campea Exposed, I like the man. I've never met him. I have no beef with him. It was just something I like to listen to things before going to sleep. His show happened to be on, so please do not make this an episode of John Campea Exposed. But it comes out of the cooch.
That's gonna wrap it up for us today. I am on FNT in freaking
an hour.
In like an hour and a half after a little sleep.
Oh.
So I'm sure Alan will be watching. So yeah. All right, Alan. Just
I only watch to hear you talk about me.
I'll do that. I'm gonna get you. Hey, are you 10,000
Oh, yeah, let me see.
followers now? I mentioned
me...
you on Geeks and Gamers.
Yes, that got me close. Let's see, where am I at? I am currently at I'm 7 away.
7 away. So follow my pal Al.
My pal Al on Twitter. And then watch the read some tweets and see what you think.
Yeah. All right. Alan,
let's get out of here.